Alright, so today I wanted to do a video more related to personal finance. So instead of talking about options or Questrade, I wanted to talk about how much I spend per month. Now, usually when I watch videos that talk about how much people spend or how much people make, because I like personal finance, it interests me. So I think this would only interest you if you like personal finance, you like to see how people are spending, maybe to compare, maybe to see where you're overspending, maybe where you're underspending. So it's just for fun, really. So I've got a spreadsheet, a budget spreadsheet, where I have my income, my expenses, and my monthly savings. Now today I'm just going to talk about my expenses. And I've got the expenses separated in two. I've got yearly expenses because sometimes we have expenses that we pay once a year and we forget about it because it's not monthly. So I've got a category for yearly expenses, and then I've got a category for monthly expenses, which is easier to remember, of course. But then I've got a line in my monthly expenses. I've got a line for the yearly expenses. So basically it's taking my total for the yearly expenses, dividing it by month to see how much I'm actually spending on my yearly expenses per month. So I should see how much I should allocate out of my monthly income for my yearly expenses, because sometimes if you pay once a year, you don't even think about it, you don't even plan for it or consider it. So that's why I like to take the full amount and divide it by 12 to see how much it's actually costing me. So I'm going to start off by monthly expenses. So first thing here, I've got a mortgage here of $780 per month. So I have a condo that I bought probably in 2016, I think, for about $200,000. Now, I am a true believer of owning instead of renting. I was actually renting for a bit, for maybe like 3 months before I bought this same condo. I was renting it for $900 a month. But then I realized if I just put my down payment of 5%, I can get a mortgage that's actually less than the rent that I'm paying. Now, of course, you have to take into consideration property taxes and condo fees. But even if you're paying $100 more than which would have been paying renting, it's still better to own. Because now this condo is worth way more because of the exaggeration of real estate. And I'm getting what I'm paying every month, I'm getting a portion back. But if I'm paying rent, if let's say I'm paying 900, I'm paying 900 to live. But this 900 is not coming back to me, it's gone. But the 780 mortgage that I'm paying, a part of it is going into paying down the mortgage, and I'm still left with a property, I'm still left with an asset at the end. So it's money that's coming back to me. At least half of the payment is coming back to me. And then if you consider capital appreciation, then the whole payment is coming back to me plus more. So that's why I definitely believe in buying instead of renting. Next year, I've got another mortgage. I've got another condo where my mom lives. Same thing. The same condo was actually, I could have rented it for, I actually signed a lease for $1,150, I think, or $1,100. $1,100 a month rent for that same condo, a condo next to it. Because I had a hard time getting the second mortgage. But then I was able to get the second mortgage, and when that happened, I had to cancel the lease. I paid a small penalty. But now my mortgage on that condo is $835 only per month. So it's less than the rent. But obviously I have to consider property taxes and condo fees. Even with property taxes and condo fees, it comes out to about $1,200. So I'm still better off owning. Plus the condo has taken appreciation. Next, I've got condo fees. So condo fees for the first one here is $150 a month, which kind of sucks. I hate condo fees, but you have no choice. Especially that you can't really control what others are doing. Most of the time you end up, our condo fees was $100 and it increased to $150 because a bunch of people got water damage, so we had to pay for that water damage. So you end up paying for others with condo fees, which this is what I don't like. But what are you gonna do if you don't have a house and you have a condo? You're gonna have to pay for condo fees, and yeah. But at least it includes insurance for the whole building, so it makes your home insurance a little bit cheaper. Some more condo fees on the second condo. And I've got two cars on which I'm paying. One of them is a lease, so that's why it's a little bit cheaper, $220. The other one is $365. Financing, I believe in leasing, or not leasing, I believe in financing so that I don't have to put the money up front, cash, if I can invest the cash and make more in return. Now, obviously, it doesn't always work out that way, but on paper, it makes more sense to finance, especially if the interest rate is very low. if you can invest the cash and make a return that's higher than the interest rate that you're paying on your loans. Next year, I've got car insurance for both cars, so that's $114 for both cars, and a motorcycle actually, so that's $114 per month, so that's actually not bad. I've got condo insurance. This is $41 for both condos as well. I've got gas, $150. Now this one fluctuates between $100 and $200. Obviously, with COVID, we don't go out that much, but sometimes we do go for a drive because there's nothing else to do. So we still spend a bit more than we should on gas, but it's between $100 and $200 a month. Costco here, this is my main groceries. Now it fluctuates as well. It is between 700 and maybe 1,000, so I'm just gonna increase it to 900. And the way I actually update my budget here is because I use one credit card to pay for everything. I just go on my credit card bill, and then I download the spreadsheet and I just filter on the category that I want, or even the merchant that I want. And I just look at an average for like 3 or 6 months to see how much I'm spending per month. So I go to my Rogers Bank portal here, sign in. Then every credit card will have its own portal and features. So I just go to transaction history, so I can download the transactions in a spreadsheet, and I'll pick, like, let's say November, and then I'll just download over here, pick Excel or CSV, download. Then for example, I'll just filter on what I'm looking for. So Costco, I'll remove the gas. I'm not looking at gas right now. And for example, there you go. I just look at how much I'm spending. So for November, I spent $900 on the dot. So yeah, I wasn't wrong. So that's once a month or once every 3 months, I'll go in and update these numbers to be more accurate based on what I'm actually spending on my credit card. Or if it's something that's not paid by credit card, but is paid by a bank transfer, like a bill payment, then I'll check my bank account. So I just got different groceries here, and I just like to separate them so it's easier to identify them. It's easier to be accurate when I separate the same category. So instead of having groceries and putting it all in one, I like to be more specific on where exactly I shop and how much I spend at each place. Here I had a line for line of credit because I used to have a line of credit that I had a minimum payment to make and interest. So that's what this is for, but now my line of credit is paid off, so I don't have it anymore. This is a furniture store here in Quebec called Borrowell. So when I buy furniture, instead of paying it cash, they have 0 interest payments, so I'll use their financing to buy a couch, for example, or a fridge, and then pay it in 36 months or even 50 months interest free. And even if it's interest free, I still negotiate the price. So let's say a couch is $3,000. Either the minimum I can get is at least taxes included. If not, I'll try to get a bit more. And then the amount that's left, then I'll finance it. Because it's financed, people tend to buy easily, thinking that it doesn't matter. I don't have to think about the price. It's financed anyways. It's only $40 a month. But I don't see it that way. I still like to negotiate the price that I'm going to finance anyways. Even if at the end it's only $1 a month, but it's what I paid for. It's the value that I paid for the object that matters to me. And here I've got my yearly expenses. So my yearly expenses is actually costing me $700 a month. So if we go to my yearly expenses, I've got my plates here. So car plates in Quebec is about $250 per year. I've got my driver's license. Usually it's around $90 or $100, but because I've got a motorcycle license, and I tend to always get some random ticket, so the driver's license is a little bit more expensive. I think the last ticket I got was a stop sign, and anyways, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so that's around $250. I've got my CPA fees, which is about $1,300. Now I didn't include that because I'm lucky my employer pays it for me, but if I would include it, see, my yearly expenses would go up to $820 a month. So my CPA fees membership cost me about $100 a month. Then I've got my property taxes on both condos. So it's not paid monthly, so that's why I put it here yearly. But obviously it has an impact monthly for sure. I've got my car maintenance, which is probably a little bit high, but I mean I do an oil change twice a year, and I change the tires. Here in Quebec, with winter, we have to change our tires. It's a rule. So I've got tire change and oil change. So that's about it's actually less. I mean, I go to Costco. I think I spend like 100 and, yeah, I guess 240 is fair. I think I spend like 115 every time. So 240 is fair. I've got Snappa. It's a website that I use to make thumbnails. Probably not worth it because my thumbnails are pretty basic right now. I changed my thumbnails, so they're pretty basic. But yeah, so that's $150 a year. But it just makes it so much faster and so much easier, less of a headache. Plus, they can remove the background of an image, so it's so simple. For example, look, this is how easy the website is. I'll just create a thumbnail for YouTube, and then I already have images that I've uploaded. Or let's even take something from the background. They've got a lot of stock photos that I can use for free. And look, if I take this picture here, nice wallpaper. But let's say I use it as a graphic, as an image. Here, let me remove the background. So remove the background, graphics. Let's say these people here. And look, by clicking this here, I can remove the background and I keep the people, which is so easy in one button. Instead of doing it in Photoshop where you have to line it up perfectly, and there you go, in one shot, I've removed the people. So yeah, I've removed the background, sorry, and just kept the people. So yeah, very simple. For $150 a month, that makes my thumbnails much easier to produce. Although right now I'm leaning more towards simple thumbnails. If you've noticed my past thumbnails, now I'm leaning more towards thumbnails where I just put my face and just like a logo, keeping it simple. While before I was doing thumbnails like this here, which really required Snappa, but I wasn't sure which ones are working better. I mean, this one here, mortgage renewal. This is a very nice thumbnail, I find, but for some reason it doesn't get people to click. So I don't know. So I thought I'd keep it simple with just my face and a logo. But if you have any comments about choice of thumbnails, please leave them in the comments section below. All right, next here I've got UFile in my yearly expenses. It's a software that I buy to prepare tax returns. So that's $52 a year. I put travel here, but I haven't traveled in over 4 years. So, but I put it just to make room for it. But if I removed it, actually, my monthly expenses would be about my yearly expenses per month would be about $462, so much less. But I'm putting it just in case I ever get a chance to travel again. So there's my it should be around from $3,000 to $5,000 per year. But also just to see what my real budget should look like as well. So that's why I put it. But it's been a while. I didn't travel. And this year I've got a subscription to Arabic channels, using IPTV. And that's about $60 a year. So that comes out to my yearly expenses per month is about $712. Then I've got my cell phone here with Rogers, about $72 a month. I've got internet that I pay as well, $75 a month. For sure there are cheaper options, but for me it's important to have high speed and unlimited consumption. So it's the thing that I use the most, so I don't care paying a little bit more for it. I think my speed is 400 megabytes per second. Here, let's do a speed test just for fun. Here, let's use this website here. All right, so if I click on go, let's look at my speed. So 15 millisecond for the response, and then megabytes per second should be 400. That's kind of weak. So 380. All right, it's getting to 400. There you go. So for me, it's important to have good internet speed and reliability, and obviously unlimited consumption as well. So yeah, so that's why I don't mind paying a little bit extra for the internet. And then I've got my hydro, which is the electricity basically. So on average, it's $75 a month, but it fluctuates every month, especially in the winter. Sometimes winter goes up to $200 a month, but with the summertime, I would say the average is about $75 a month. And I've got it twice here because I pay for both condos. And then finally, I've got the daycare. This also fluctuates because sometimes the daycare is closed, holidays or COVID or whatever, they close it. So, but the max is usually 400 and the minimum would be about 200. So that's my daycare. And it's still pretty good. I've got 2 children, so it's about $9 a day per child. I mean, some people pay $40. So this is a subsidized daycare. So I think it's a pretty good price to pay. So that gives me a total of, for the month, about $5,300 a month. Now where could I improve? Now I need the cars, can't ignore the cars. Driver's license, I can stop getting tickets, so that should bring it down to maybe 120, 130. I mean, I'm lucky my employer pays for my CPA. Property taxes, I mean, I've got two, like right now condos are over 400. So the fact that I was able to buy them for 200, I think that's a good deal. Can't get cheaper than that. I have to pay for a place to rent anyways, to live in. So instead of paying rent $1,000 or more, I'm paying it in a mortgage, which is the exact same amount. So it's definitely a good deal. But if anything, I'm actually thinking of buying a house. So if I buy a house, then this year is going to probably go up to $2,000 because homes are really expensive right now. And the cheapest thing I can find that's suitable for us would be around a $400,000 house. And yeah, $400,000 house, that would give us a payment. If it's 5% down, amortization period, sure, 25 years. Select rate, yeah, sure, let's say 264. So see, the mortgage alone would be about $1,800 if it's 5% down payment. If it's 20% down payment, mortgage would be about $1,450. But there's still property taxes to add to that. And if I put 20% down payment, the interest rate is a little bit higher because it's not insured. So probably let's say 2.74. So yeah, mortgage is about $1,500 if it's 20% down, and about $1,800 if it's 5% down. Yeah, so that would this I can't improve. If anything, it's probably gonna go up. Condo fees. Well, if I buy a house, then I won't have this condo fees anymore. The car, can't do anything. I need the cars. Car insurance is pretty good. Home insurance is pretty good. Gas, I mean, it's fair. Maybe Costco, I can just be careful not to go over 1,000. Sometimes you know, when you're bored, you end up buying stuff you don't need. So just need to be careful with that. But I think it's fair. I got rid of my line of credit and monthly financing, so that's good. Yearly expenses, what can I reduce from my yearly expenses? Not much really. Snappa, maybe I could remove Snappa, but everything else I need, travel I need, so yeah, nothing I can remove there. Cell phone's pretty good. I mean, I renew and get I take a 2-year contract so I can get a new phone every time. So this includes a brand new phone as well. So it's not bad with unlimited talk and about 20 gigs of data. So it's not bad. For Quebec, it's not bad. And I'm actually getting a 30% discount because I'm a CPA. Rogers offers 30% discount. So it would have been more than that if I didn't get that discount. The internet, I know it could be cheaper. There's definitely cheaper deals out there, but I like the speed. I need the internet speed. Electricity, maybe we can control that with the heater and maybe be more efficient with our energy usage. Daycare can't do anything with that, and that doesn't even we don't even go out to restaurants or anything, so that doesn't even include entertainment. If I wanted to include entertainment, it would have been even higher. I'll eventually do a video with my income. Now, I don't have a line here for investments because I don't necessarily put a specific amount into my investments. I just, whatever I have left over, everything goes in either an emergency fund or in Questrade. So I don't necessarily pick a particular amount. I know I'm not a big spender. It's not because if I have extra cash in the bank, it doesn't mean that I'll spend it. So I don't have to worry about putting aside a certain amount every month first before I pay for my expenses, because I'm not that type of person to spend money just because there is money available. So I'm not worried about that. Anything that's available, I just throw it in Questrade or leave it as an emergency fund. Right now I'm saving up for a down payment as well. Although if I sell my condo, I'm probably gonna get my down payment from the equity from the condo. But yeah, so I'm not too sure what I want to do yet. I'm still looking for homes, so I'm not throwing everything in Questrade just yet. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this short video. If you have any questions, any comments, leave in the comments section below. Like always, if you're gonna open an account with Questrade to trade on the stock market, use my referral link below to get $50 in free commissions. Thanks for watching.